Hey everybody, Jared here. Today I'm going to do the 50-hour service on my Kubota L3560. Now the reason I'm sharing this with you is I see on the Facebook groups and forums quite a bit guys asking about doing the 50-hour service. How much people pay the dealer, how should they do it themselves? And I'm here to show you how easy this service is for you to do yourself. And I'd highly recommend it. It'll make you more familiar with your tractor. It'll let you know where everything is. It'll let you know where all of your fluids, your filters are, and obviously show you all the grease points, which you should already know. But it really is not that difficult of a job to do. If you have some basic hand tools and place to drain oil, then you can definitely do this. Now, another thing I'm going to show you is what's called the shop vac trick. When changing the hydraulic filter, you have the potential to lose quite a bit of hydraulic fluid if you don't change it fast and spin the new filter back on pretty quickly. The shop vac trick, which is, once again, I will show you, is where I'm going to use somebody extra. My son's going to come down and help hold the shop vac right up against the fill port. This is going to create a negative pressure inside the hydraulic system to prevent excess fluid from dripping out while I change the filter. Super easy, keeps loss to a minimum, and works really well. Now, I have here everything that I purchased from Kubota. Do you have to do that? That's up to you. Now, personally, I will never use anything other than Super UDT2 in any of my tractors. I've seen what happens when people try to use other hydraulic fluids. They work slower, they create sludge, they foam. They just end up having problems. So I will never use anything but that. Engine oil, I picked it up at Kubota while I was there because it's easy. But any good CJ4 oil that's rated for diesel, which CJ4 is a diesel spec, will be just fine. Oil filter, same. Choose the oil filter of your liking. Now, hydraulic and hydrostat. Once again, this is a place where I will never use anything but the Kubota filters. Are they made by Kubota? No. We know places don't make their own filters, right? They are made by somebody. But you have to be really careful with just a generic cross-reference. And I'll show you this one as an example. This is the hydrostat filter, okay? And I'll show you this on a close-up. This has a heavy machine billet base because this guy is under quite a bit of pressure. Now there is a local gentleman here who, upon realizing how much this filter cost for his tractor, decided to go to a local auto parts store, which would be the generic blue and yellow store that you're used to hearing people go get cross-reference filters for. Purchased a filter, did a service on his tractor, and was out in the yard while his wife was running the tractor. This filter, because it did not have the heavy machined flange and thick case, blew off of this tractor and hit him in the knee, shattering his knee. So, was it worth it for him to save a few dollars by going to a cross-reference? I'd say heck no. No, I'd like to keep my knees and not have them shattered. But also, these are engineered with this fluid, which is really a spectacular fluid. I've changed this in several Kubota, different models of things, tractors, RTVs, and whatnot. And it always comes out looking just as good and golden brown, even after 400 hours. I mean, it's wonderful stuff. I see no reason why you shouldn't run that. It is really not that much expensive. Not much more expensive than the cheap stuff. So, hydrostat. And then my filter for hydraulic just happens to be a little taller. This has a magnet on it as well. So here's the hydrostat filter. Once again, hopefully you can see that this is a heavy machined flange on there. And what you can't tell is I mean, this thing has a lot of heft to it, but just by feeling it, I can tell that the entire case is pretty thick metal. Now, this guy was not cheap. He was $77, I think. But once again, I'll pay $77 instead of losing my knees or damaging a multi-$1,000 tractor. So, what's in a 50-hour service? Your owner's manual has it all. And 50-hour service could not get easier than any of the others. Engine start system. You'll know that whether or not your tractor starts. Check your wheel bolt torque. Hopefully you did that when you received your tractor, and do it every so many hours when it's new, just like you should with the car and everything else. So wheel bolt torque. Greasing. Next one is if you have a GST or manual, you need to adjust the clutch. Transmission oil filter. Filter only, no fluid. Engine oil filter, and hydraulic oil filter. Once again, no fluid on that. The hydraulic oil in this system and most other tractors that I've seen, RTV included, is 400 hours. So nice thing is we're doing just the filters at 50 and then at 200 and no fluid until 400 hours. Now this 50-hour service is real important because this is when you're going to catch all of the junk and any initial wear parts that occurred from your tractor being brand spanking new. So that's why you have such a short interval when the tractor is brand new. So that's it, really easy. And we'll check the book and figure out where all of the grease areas are for our tractor. And then I'll show you how to do each one of these as we go. So first thing I'm going to do is wipe off all of the grease zerks. Get ready to grease this. And I'm greasing this first and doing the loader because I have it up part way. Makes it easier to get to these grease zerks in the back. And then I'll lower it. There's going to be a grease zerk for every pin, okay? On your owner's manual, you will find where all of your grease fittings are. Now there's a separate manual for your loader, but those are pretty easy. It's these other ones that are a little harder to find, like front axle support and pivot, front wheel case support, front axle support, 3-point hitch stuff, 3-point hitch cylinders, battery terminals, which is going to be spray grease, and then seat stuff, which will, I'm guessing, also be spray grease probably. I'm not going to make you guys watch me grease every fitting, but I do want you to see how this works. Now, one question on a lot of the groups is whether or not this works with the pins on the loaders, and we'll find out. Now, your loader could still be different than mine, but as of right now, mine works. Now I will come back with a paper towel afterwards and wipe off all of the excess grease. All right, I'm sold. This is awesome. Locks right on, don't have to hold it. Without a doubt, I would get one of these. Yep, well worth it. Now we're going to change the engine oil. And on my tractor, I have 2 oil drain plugs. We're going to pop the dipstick here just so air can get in. So we've cracked open the drain on the other side, and here you can see the drain on this side. So once again, on this tractor, there's 2 drains, one on each side. So my tractor takes 7.1 quarts. All right, got just about a quart left in the jug, so we'll start it up and measure it here in a minute. leaks. So I forgot to do this before I put it on, but I always write the number of hours on the filter. That way I don't forget. Now all I have to do is take a look at the filter and remember when my next change is, which should be on the round number, every 200, 400, etc. So this is the fill port where we are going to apply the suction from the shop vac. And I'm going to have my son hold that here. And I've already taken both my filters and prepped them both by putting clean Super UDT on the sealing gaskets and wrote that number of hours and have them ready to go. So I'm going to have him do that, and then we're going to swap out the filters real quick. Okay, put it on there. Okay, give it a break. Okay, back on. So although not required, but I believe it's always a good idea, I am going to also check my air filter. It's actually very, very clean. I don't even see a reason to vacuum it at all. Now yet another thing I'm going to check. This is something you should be doing all the time, not just at 50 hours, but depending upon the kind of tractor you have, you may have a different fuel separator slash filter. I have a separator and a spindle canister, but my separator here, if you could tell, that right here should be down here. So that means I've actually got some junk. Now I had a, my tank unfortunately had some junk in it, and thought I got most of it cleaned out, but obviously I didn't. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that off, drain that, and dump that out. So this will all be red with off-road diesel. All right, so we're all done. The last step is to reset the maintenance items to let the computer know that we changed it, so it won't alert us anymore. If you notice, mine beeps every time I turn it on. So if your tractor is older and it doesn't have this, obviously just disregard, but otherwise just reference your operator's manual and it will walk you through resetting this. I'm going to reset the engine oil filter and the trans and hydrostat filter and wheel bolts. I'm also going to check the front axle, but obviously I did not change that. All right, guys, that's it. I hope this helped you. I hope you saw how easy it was to do your own 50-hour maintenance. If you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments and I will respond. Hit the thumbs up, like the video, subscribe for more videos, and hit the bell notification so you're notified of all the upcoming videos, and comment. Let me know, did this help? Did it not? Is there anything I left out you'd like to see more of? And I can always make another video showing you little bits and pieces if there's anything that you think I left out. But thanks, and have a great rest of your day.